Hi, today I want to show you a side dish that we often have in Germany when we have a celebration or a holiday. It's called Croquetten. I hope you like it. It's made from potatoes and it's, like always, very delicious. For the croquetten today, you will need about 1 kilogram of potatoes, and these potatoes are boiled. And when I was boiling them, I boiled them in some salt water until they were very soft. And after boiling, I removed the water and put it back onto the stove. The reason for that is that I want these potatoes to be really, really dry. So on the still hot stove, the remaining water on the potatoes was evaporating and the steam came out and everything. So they are really, really dry now. That's very important. What you also need is some salt, optional some nutmeg. You can also use the ground nutmeg. You don't have to use one of these. I just prefer it because I think it tastes better. You will need overall 6 eggs, where 3 eggs go into the potatoes a little bit later, and 3 eggs you will need for the braiding. Also you need some starch. I have some potato starch here, but you can also use some regular corn starch, which you get here in America usually. You also need some breadcrumbs and some frying oil. Also, you need one of these bags, or you can also use a freezer bag with a large opening on the end. So first I want to mash the potatoes, and you can have a potato ricer to do this, or do it with a tool like this one here. Okay. And now I will use the egg yolks of 3 of these eggs. And I'll make some macaroons with the egg whites or meringue. Okay. All right. And I'm also adding some salt. Although I boiled the potatoes in salt water, there's usually not enough salt in it. So I add some nutmeg. I like nutmeg. Okay. And the cornstarch. Okay. And now I start mixing this. And the potato mass is still warm, so it's not leftover potatoes. I actually boiled them right before I started the video. Yeah, so now I want to pipe this into strings. And let me take this here. And I am sprinkling a little bit of starch onto this sheet, just to make sure that later I will be able to remove these strings from here. Okay, now I take my piping bag and fill this potato mass into it. Okay. All right, and now I'm making these strings. After piping these strings, now I have to divide this into portions, and I cut this about every 2 inch. And separate them. Here are 2 smaller ones. So now that I've divided these into smaller portions, I will freeze this for about 20 minutes or as long as it takes to make the outside firm, which makes my next step a lot easier. While these potato strings are in the freezer, I'm preparing my next step. I will scramble the eggs, and as you can see, I've already filled the breadcrumbs into this container here next to the eggs. And now I'm going to see if the potato strings are already firm. Here you can see that they are slightly frozen. I cannot press them and change their shape. So they're not completely frozen all the way through, but enough for me to put them in to the egg and into the breadcrumbs. Okay, and yeah, I will do this with all of them now. So now it's time to fry them. So I take these Croquettes and put them into the hot oil. And usually we in Germany don't make them ourselves anymore. We can buy them frozen in the shop, in the grocery, and then we prepare them in the oven, which of course has a lot less fat than frying them. But this is the way it was done before you could buy them frozen, and it's so delicious. When I go in a restaurant and they make them fresh, it tastes so much better than the frozen version that you do in the oven. And so this is a really nice side to, and it's, I would say, any kind of roast, any kind of poultry. It goes very well with red cabbage, you know, the red cabbage recipe. And yeah, it's something that we really order or serve when we have a celebration with a family or if we have a holiday. So let's see, how's this going? Yeah, takes a moment. So I want them to be like a little bit golden and brownish. So it takes a while, the oil is not that hot. And I turn them a little bit in between. And as you can see now, they are getting a little bit of a tan. Here you can see this. I'll give it a little more time, not much, before I take them out. Yeah, so you can see this is nice and a little bit brownish, and it is time to take them out now and prepare the second batch. If you have a deep fryer, things are probably much easier for you. So you can make a larger batch, but this works too. And you see they look really, really cute. They're very nice and crisp on the outside as I want them. And they're supposed to be fluffy on the inside. So we will check that out in a bit. But let me first prepare the second batch. And if you want to prepare them and then serve them later, you could put them in the oven with a low temperature just to keep them warm. Just make sure that you don't dry them out. Okay. So while this is frying, let me take one of these, and let's take the small one here and open it. Yes, very nice. So it's crisp on the outside, as I said, and the inside is nice and fluffy. Let me try some. It's still hot. Just right, just as I remember it from Germany. You can taste the nutmeg. If you don't like it, leave it out, but I like it very much. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is a really nice side dish for maybe your next Thanksgiving celebration or for Christmas. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for the next video and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and definitely subscribe to the newsletter of my blog, MyGerman.Recipes. Thanks for watching. Bye.